What up, ladies and gentlemen, Chen Chen here bringing you guys in our video. Today, very special video because we are going to go over a gameplay on my high diamond / masters account versing against none other than, no cloud pronounce it, Peng Yiliang, otherwise known as Doublelift. Yes, this is the professional League of Legends player, Doublelift. It was super fun laning against him and playing against him and just getting a feel for how challengers think and how they play. Obviously, he is an ADC main, so this isn't like the best interpretation of me being a better player than him, or I'm not trying to imply that is what I'm saying. But without spoiling too much, this was an absolute game. I will say that we did actually win thanks to some key components that I did. It was just overall full tryhard Chen Chen to see exactly what I can do in a full tryhard environment. So without further ado, if you are excited, make sure to smash the like button, join the Crimson Pack by subscribing to the channel. Let's get right into the gameplay. Alright, so a lot of you already know how I do these type of videos. I try to skip over the boring parts or parts where, you know, there's not a whole lot going on. I do want to mention some quick things first, so I don't know why I'm AFK at the start of this. There we go. So in the Viego versus TF matchup, this is a very popular matchup that I have faced against a lot, but obviously never really faced against a challenger TF player. Not saying that he necessarily knows how to play TF, but his game sense is definitely going to be there. So I definitely took a very interesting approach into this lane. We're gonna skip and get started. Now I am going to place a ward just because it is a Rek'Sai, so I want to get a nice deep ward, knowing if Rek'Sai is going to early gank. In the early few levels, you do want to let them push in generally and just try to farm safely. Now this game, you're actually gonna see how effective Viego is at just power farming, scaling, and executing. That's exactly what I did this game to pretty much just absolutely carry and blow the game out of control. So in the early game, not looking for a whole lot. I will Q poke him if he does step out of his line, and we're obviously trying to dodge his poke as well. As you can see, the wave is generally always on this side of the map where it's a little bit closer towards me, but not necessarily. Keeping it at the middle / this area is very ideal. It's going to allow me to, one, not die to ganks, to the gold card plus Rek'Sai gank, and two, it's just going to give me a lot of room to actually punish Doublelift if he ever decides to go in and take a very bad trade. So once again, you can see the wave state. It's going to stay roughly around here. Now he is pressuring a little bit, so it's going to actually crash a little bit into me, so I am going to try to trim it a little bit while taking some poke. Overall, not too shabby. And we actually burn his flash, which is pretty nice here. Just because of, like I said earlier, keeping the wave roughly in this area, it forces him to have to push out. Obviously, TF has no sort of mobility, and that's going to be very beneficial here. Now, major mistake by Doublelift. He takes the blue card, and he actually gets solo killed by me, just like that. I took everything that I said earlier, right? First off, I took the wave state being roughly around these pillar lines, right around here. Number two, he didn't have flash, so like I said, he's overextended with no mobility. I just went in for the solo kill. Keep in mind, even if he did gold card me, there's a high chance I flash and still get the solo kill. So it's just really nice to actually be able to say I solo killed him. So looking at the wave state, it's definitely not at a great position. I do want to shove it out and back. I am sitting on 1300 gold, which is a really nice amount of gold. I can buy my Vampiric and potentially boots or longsword depending on the game. Let's see what I do here. Because he is pressuring quite a bit, I am forced to stay. I never really want to back at a bad timing. Just because I got a solo kill, I want to be able to push my lead. That's the very key thing for all of this. So I do want to back in a very good spot, which should be right here. Just kidding, I am greedy. I choose to poke him out a little bit, which is still pretty worth. So now he is completely resourceless in this lane, so I can just shove this out and I should be able to back. Or do I actually? No. Oh, just kidding, I actually do. Potentially look for the dive. Right now, we're more or less just pressuring. Alistar does come in, though, so we do have to back. If Alistar wasn't here, we could have definitely pressured a lot more. Does Elise die here? No, she does not. So the only reason why I actually went for that pressure point, getting him out of, like, CS range and actually being able to CS, is because the Elise was hovering me. So after shoving this and the next wave, we should be looking at back here. Or actually, I do remember going for a really stupid dive that I kind of messed up. Is it here? So keep in mind, guys, I still have yet to back. I do not recommend doing this all too often. It's more or less just because I'm greedy, and I'm also confident in my capabilities as a player. That is why. Now, do I take the back here? Nope. This is the failed dive attempt. So right here, let me just assess the situation. I think this is very important. Without any sort of items, this sort of dive isn't really going to be too effective. Now, the reason why I went for this, and there's a couple main reasons. The main one being the fact that I knew he didn't have flash yet. You can see it's barely about to come up. My ideology was I go for the solo kill. I can now shove this out and back, and Doublelift just can't play the game anymore. That was my ideal. That would have been a huge, like, absolute banger of a game. But I do have to assess the fact that I simply just don't have any damage items. So how am I going to actually successfully do this? It's a very good thing to keep in mind. So I go for it. I realize I didn't have enough damage, and I am forced to burn out my flash. Now, there are a couple benefits of doing that. One, he is very low, and he's going to have to play fairly cautiously. But there's more negatives to it than anything. So I just have to take a really bad back timer here. Imagine if I didn't greed for this. I would be able to back with an item, not miss this wave, and we'd pretty much be at the same spot, except I'd be significantly ahead. So, you know, you can't expect to play perfectly, especially when you're going against pros. So right here, because TF has ultimate, I do recognize that I do have to start creating some sort of pressure so he can't just freely ult, you know, around the map and actually impact the game. That's where a lot of players struggle with dealing against TF. The whole purpose of picking TF is to help, you know, enemy team get ahead. And if you're going against the TF and allowing it to openly happen, it's not really great. So keep in mind, I am pinging my bot lane before, just because I feel as if it's really obvious they're going to 4-man dive. I do try to come, but I will be a little bit late just based on how he's set up. And they actually are able to pick up my bot lane. Not the greatest situation to occur, but not much I can do. I literally pinged before he even ulted because it was super telegraphed. Unfortunately, my bot lane wasn't ready. They did both have flash, so a good valid play. You know, kind of coaching my bot lane, because why not? They just walk straight up, and they have flash to play around. They wouldn't have both died. If max, one person will die, but they're stuck right here. I come right here, and I kill. So if some reason Pancake Slap or 111112 is watching this, that would be a much more ideal play, and it would have actually been really solid for me. Alright, so I'm walking back to the lane after shoving out. TF is just completely overextended. I think this comes with just Doublelift. Either maybe he's tilted from previous games. I didn't really watch his stream all too much. I just kind of watched the highlights of the game, but I didn't watch, you know, his before game or whatever. Maybe he's tilted, I don't know. That seems like a super tilted play. I guess he did have flash, so he kind of felt safety, but welcome to mid lane, man, where flash does not matter. If you're over here, you are fucking dead, so Doublelift does actually get caught out there, and we get his tower. So right now, I'm feeling extremely good. I have my Bork, I have my Ninja Tabbies. Despite laning against, you know, TF, who's obviously AP, they are mostly AD, so Ninja Tabby's going to be a really solid pickup here. I also am currently sitting on 500 more gold than him. Keep in mind, he does have his passive that will grant him a pretty good set of income. He goes for the same shit again, and it actually works. I don't know. Like, this is super tilting, and keep in mind, at this rate, in any sort of elo, you're just gonna get flamed. You know, so my bot lane's completely flaming me at this point, which is whatever, you just kind of have to deal with it. I'm completely at the mental state of mind where I'm just ready to carry because this is obviously going to be a huge banger. So I completely muted my bot lane, and I have really good CS that should allow me to transition my power early game into mid game and then late game, which we'll see throughout the later parts of this gameplay. They try collapsing me here, on me here, which is very interesting. We are getting Drake, so I'm gladfully just going to ult out and stay safe. What are we doing here? We're going back to lane and once again keep farming. I pretty much have 10.0 CS per minute, which is really, I don't know, I've been playing Viego for quite a while, and it's actually pretty hard to do this, you know, consistently. But the games where I can get 10.0 CS, it feels really nice, and I feel as if I can truly run over the game. So we're going to keep pressuring. We see, I believe TF gets another free kill. Yep, he ults, and he gets another free kill. So that's 3 ultimates that Doublelift put onto bot lane. And you guys might just be like, wow, what a huge mid diff. I believe, yeah, GP actually typed mid diff at this point, I remember that. Just like a small lesson for you guys, if you're laning against TF, there's not much you can do. Like, I'm using my pings effectively. You can see I'm pinging careful. I ping careful every single time he ultied. There's just not a whole lot you can actually do in this instance. I remember at this point my team wanted to FF, you know, it's 9 versus 6. Game's pretty much over, right? Like, bot lane's so strong, their enemy bot lane. But I'm keeping a good mental state, and we're just keep looking for plays. I should be able to pick him up here. Beautiful, beautiful. And I recognize that I'm going to be the main reason why we're going to win this game, so that's why I actually take his red buff, which he wasn't too happy about, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I knew I could carry, so that's why I did it. Sitting at solid 10.0 CS per minute right now. Very, very strong. And we're just gonna keep trying to focus on farming, playing effectively, playing the map perfectly. As I was kind of saying earlier, the thing with laning against TF is you really can't do much. So obviously I was talking about my pings. Pinging is pretty much the most effective way you can deal with TF and hope that your teammates actually listen to it. But, like, there's an argument for taking TP, but then you just lose so much kill pressure. It's just not worth it. A lot of the times, especially in towards, like, the higher elos, if there's a good player, they're gonna respect the TF ulti. And TF should just never be able to actually ult bot 3 times and get away with it. But keep in mind, with realizing this, I am actually punishing to the best of my ability, with obviously having roughly around 12.0 CS per minute right now, and just being overall extremely, extremely strong. So this is where my first death come in, because I am listening to my teammates. Jinx pings to dive the GP, so in theory, this play isn't horrible, but it was just executed not of the greatest. So I shove out, and you might be like, alright, this is just a free kill, but both my teams are already practically almost dead, and yeah, it just did not go well at all. They collapse onto us. I did almost get him. If I got him, maybe I could transform and turn the fight. Probably not, though, but happens. So at this point, I'm still keeping up with insanely good CS. I'm actually down gold to Doublelift, just because of the nature of how he gets free kills through his ultimate and gold. So I am down a little bit, but overall in terms of, like, I don't know, I just feel much stronger than him is what I'd say, without better way of describing it. They actually collapse onto us here. We should be able to get out, I believe. I'm trying to save him. I do end up killing GP. Beautiful. Yeah, this is where I'm starting to, like, turn these sort of fights. Like, just absolutely perfectly played by me. And those type of small skirmishes, I think I won like 4 or 5 of those, and that generated us to actually winning the game, which is super crazy to think. When you think of like a 0-6 bot lane, ADC 1-4 support, and then junglers obviously getting outscaled. I do die here, which is unfortunate, but as I was saying, like, my whole team is kind of not doing so well. So it's very, very shocking that I was able to pull us together and actually win the game. So blue team got Nasher. I believe we should win this fight for the most part. I'm hovering within my E vision, trying to look for a proper pick. I got it. Got the Alistar, huge knockup. Get the Tristana, absolutely beautiful. That dash kind of flopped. I don't know what happened there, but pick up the GP. I use orange to dodge. I actually get bursted. Very unfortunate. That would have been my Penta if I didn't get bursted. They did a lot of damage, Jesus. I guess it's because I took GP's body and he's going full damage, so it is what it is. Still, like I said, like, because of how I'm playing these skirmishes, I'm allowing my team a window to actually win, which is really, really nice. They do get the drag here. I believe I should be able to turn the fight. I get the Rek'Sai. Transform in. I get the Trist. Transform in. I jump over. And I get Doublelift as well. Absolutely beautiful. Jinx has her Kraken Slayer, so now she's actually strong, guys. 24-minute Kraken Slayer. Kraken Slayer is honestly just not balanced. I think a lot of the ADC items are pretty much beyond broken. Like, all Jinx needed was one item to actually pop off there. She did a decent bit there. I mean, most of that was me and just her taking the kill, but that play did allow her to get back into the game, which is really nice. So we're shoving, clearing their jungle camps, trying to get them further behind. Do I get caught here is the question. I don't think I do. Unfortunate. Yep. I made some mistakes this game. That is for sure. I made a couple mistakes. Alright, so I reached my 5 item power spike. I'm extremely strong right here. Currently sitting with more gold than Doublelift right now. And it's 27 minutes. I have 260 farms, so roughly 9.5-ish CS per minute, which is really nice, of course. And right now, the game plan is to... my minimap is fucked up, but it's to play around Baron. And that's why we're postured here. Let's see how it actually plays out. So I pinged that Doublelift is actually splitting bot. Tom Kench goes to match it. We go top. Clear that out. We see GP top. I'm actually very interested to see how we play this out. So right here they try to catch me. This is where they fucked up, I think. Do we turn this? Okay, just kidding. They didn't fuck up. I'm stupid. I burned my Sterix there. I actually thought I turned and just got a Penta there, but bad memory happens. Okay, so Rek'Sai goes in here. Alistar does as well. But when you're playing Viego, you can just steal the tank engager. I get him mid-air, guys. I get him mid-air while stunned. And I chase. You already know I gotta chase my fucking idol, man. You already know. Now, he actually outplays me pretty hard. His damage is kind of cracked. And then Everfrost. He just kites me out. Fear not, guys. Fear not. You may kite me out, but I will never die. So he stepped too close. He does get a nice Zhonya's off. But we just kill him. There's another solo kill. Just like that, baby. And yeah, our team's actually able to get Baron off of that. I got Doublelift distracted. And that's very ideal for us. And this is pretty much where we started turning the tides. As you can see, the gold is practically even. Alright, let's see how we play the final fight. I believe this should be the final fight. So we have Baron buff. We are pressuring. TF is really strong with his gold card spam, so we are very cautious of it. I choose to go and farm. Nope. I group back up. So at this point, I know if we just take a good fight, we win. And Alistar, he knew what I was thinking, man, and he delivered his body right to me so I can engage and fail my engage, actually. But Did I get him? No, that was actually a flop, but it didn't matter. I believe that's game. Maybe. No, it's actually not game. No, we're forced to back. We don't have anything. Yeah, we are forced to back. Slight throwage. Very slight, but it's fine. So the game is already pretty much tied in terms of kills. We're currently 11, 4, and 8 against the one and only Doublelift. Really solid game so far. And I think I played this pretty close to perfect. I made a couple mistakes, but all of those mistakes were correlated with my deaths. So I made a total of like 4 minor mistakes, which led to deaths, of course. But in this sort of gameplay, that's perfectly fine, you know. Not everyone's gonna play perfectly, so just a really solid game showing for me, and this really does give me a lot of confidence to climb the rank ladder, especially with Viego. I just feel really confident being able to carry games like these. We see that TF ultied, so we are going to respect it. He does get the ultimate gold card onto Jinx, but we are going in. Not dying yet. Trying to go for a reset, couldn't get it. Are going to have to fall back. TF actually overextends, so I go E, invis, I take Alistar, and I go engage, and I believe I kill, yes, I kill Doublelift for the last time of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you absolutely carry games with Viego, and it was done against an X-Pro. What a beautifully done, beautifully executed game. I don't know. Lost for words, but wow, what a game. Ended the game 14-4-9, 300 farm. Oh, that was just an absolute insane game. Definitely one of my most highlight-worthy games. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but definitely a very fun game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you play and carry with Viego. Hope you guys learned something through this informative guide, and just, man, to think how far I've come to actually be able to execute my skills against an X-Pro, and, you know, just 1v9 the game. That is it from me. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button, join the Crimson Pack by subscribing to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Chen Chen out.